Everyone asks themselves this exact question, am I lazy? But what if you're not lazy? What if you're just unsure? Because the biggest thing a lot of the time is you're constantly looking at yourself being like, why aren't I motivated? Why can't I do that? Why can't I do this? But it's because you're unsure. You're unclear on what you're doing and why you're doing it. The reason that you're unclear is because you're uninspired. You haven't been looking after yourself. There's aspects of, sleep, nutrition, looking at your environment, your belief, your stress levels. But one thing that we need to understand is to have more energy and to take more action means you actually have to be inspired. You have to see the full picture. And if you don't see the full picture, you're going to be unsure. And if you're unsure, you're going to have no intrinsic motivation to actually be clear enough to actually take action and get results. Because everyone wants this big aspect or this big outcome, but you need to motivate yourself. You need to remind yourself. We're like goldfish. We forget things all the time. I know I do. Now, if you want to have energy, you've got to have clarity. And to have clarity, you also have to take action. And action is going to give you results. So if we look at this by a step-by-step thing, if I was to put a number on each one, I would say, well, to have energy, you need to have clarity of what you're doing. So you're not unsure anymore. You're actually, dare I say, motivated. You're inspired to do what you want to do. And if you have clarity, that gives you energy, and energy is going to feed into action. Action, of course, is going to go down to getting you results. So when we understand that low energy equals low action, we can understand that the first thing we need to do is give ourselves clarity. Why am I doing this? What is the point? Well, give yourself the why. I'm doing it for my family. I'm doing it for myself. I'm doing it to become a better version of myself. You're going to soon see that you're going to stop being unsure of yourself and you're going to start to take action. Now, the other aspect of this is looking at these fundamental pillars. So obviously sleep is a really big one. If you're not sleeping enough, you're not going to perform well. You're going to have low energy. You're going to feel foggy. Cognitively, you're just not going to perform. And physically, you're going to be extremely tired. And then we look at nutrition, like, are you eating muffins? Are you eating apples? Are you eating meat? Are you eating tofu? Whatever it is, like, understand that the nutrition, the things that you eat and drink are going to have an effect on your internal reality, your internal feelings and emotions too. Stress, how much stress are you under? Like, what aspect of stress do you need to improve? Understanding, okay, well, I'm stressed because of this and that. Okay, well, how can you improve those aspects? Because as soon as you take away stress, you're going to be clearer mentally, physically. You're going to have more energy, and you're going to start to see things are going to just be so much easier for you. The next aspect is environment as well. So your environment is one of the biggest killers to whether you become successful or you don't become successful, whether you have a high capacity or a low capacity, because you always rise to the standards that you're around. So who is it that you're around that is bringing you up and pushing you down? Who can you take away? Who can you just say, hey, that's it? Who can you invite to come into your circle? Or whose circle can you be a part of that's going to inspire you more to be so certain on why you're doing it and not feel lost? And the last thing is beliefs. Like, what beliefs do you actually have about yourself? Do you believe that you're lazy? Maybe you do. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe you genuinely believe you're lazy. Maybe you believe that you don't have the answers. Well, what if you did have the answers, but you're telling yourself the same thing again and again and again? No wonder you're going to believe what you're saying. Because there's one thing that we need to think about, and it is we are just a supercomputer taking in all this information all the time. And whatever information we are fed, whether that be from podcasts, whether that be from videos, whether that be friends, family, whether that be from ourselves, the biggest one, that will dictate the beliefs that we have. That will give us the perspective and perception of the world around us. So what is it that you're saying to yourself, and what is it that you need to change as well? So that is the biggest thing, where you now understand that maybe you're not lazy, maybe you're just unsure. If you have more questions on this, let me know, and just leave a comment below.